Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm recording this far too late. Life has got in the way today. It's gone 5:30, and I'm going to be attempting to record the video now. That means that if Refractions by Nell Gwyn, which is the puzzle I'm about to attempt, is very difficult, I am in a world of trouble, because I obviously I haven't missed the 8:30 deadline in 5 years. I want to say there has been a video a day. I think I've done a video every day for 5 years. So I really oughtn't to jest about this. It's I think this puzzle is only 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so hopefully I will be able to do it. But the reason we're doing this is we've had a lot of recent recommendations to try it, including from a constructor who has been garnering a lot of praise on the Sudoku scene for the last few months, Arbitrary, who said that this is the best use of palindrome clues they've ever seen. And I think the grey lines are going to be the palindromes in this one. Hang on, let me just check. Digits on a grey line, yeah, must be the same backwards and forwards. So these are palindromes. And I'm trying to think of a 6-letter name with Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H. That's how palindromes work. They read the same backwards and forwards. Anyway, this is what we're going to be having a go at. Apparently it's wonderful, and it's an older puzzle, but there's nothing wrong with us giving attention to older puzzles if they are brilliant, and apparently this one is. So this is what we're going to have a look at. Before we kick off, I don't have much news. I'd like to thank so many of you for sending me birthday wishes yesterday. I've been quite overwhelmed. I've just been reading the comments on yesterday's video. Just amazing, and thanks again to Peter Venus for constructing a puzzle specially for my birthday. Yes, the cake is good. The cake that I had a picture of in yesterday's video, it is definitely passing muster in the Anthony household. So yes, lots of chocolate cake has been had. Other than that, what do I need to mention? I'm going to say thanks to Mr. Toffee, another constructor, Tom in real life, I think, for his email about how CTC has provided some needed distraction and initiating a burgeoning puzzle constructing career, judging by the prolific nature of Mr. Toffee of late. And Mr. Toffee sends a kind email, I said, but also posed a question in the email about what is beauty in the context of puzzles, and does beauty equate to difficulty? Now, I'm just going to deal with that latter question. Absolutely not. I don't think people should aim for difficulty in their puzzles. If difficulty emerges from the process of creating a brilliant puzzle, that's fine and dandy. But difficulty definitely not is something just to be aimed at for difficulty's sake. And in fact, I think some of the best puzzles that we've ever seen on the channel have been what I would describe as easy, in the sense that everybody who applied themselves to the puzzle could have got through it, even without Sudoku experience. It's just that the logic that the constructor has baked into those puzzles is beautiful, and that's almost like a feeling you get when you solve it. You can sense, there's a satisfaction, a feeling that the universe is clicking into place, and that is the beauty of puzzles, and it's what this channel is all about. So a little bit of a segue. Forgive me for that. Other than that, I want to say a very happy birthday to Sebastian. Sebastian, I know it's your birthday today because your girlfriend Elizabeth over there in Stockholm wrote to us and said that you'd appreciate a shout out. I think you try most of the puzzles, so thank you for doing that. And Elizabeth was concerned you might get the birthday blues. I don't know how old you are today, but she thought that a shout out might help, and apparently you're getting a Cracking the Cryptic cap. So, I mean, it's going to be a good day, Sebastian. If you're getting chocolate cake as well, happy days, but many happy returns, my friend. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is Lord of the Rings Sudoku Hunt, Blobz' masterpiece. That is available over on Patreon. There's actually quite a lot of extra content over on Patreon at the moment. There's crossword videos aplenty, connections videos, all sorts of things. But the most important thing is the Lord of the Rings competition, which runs until the 20th. So loads and loads of time, but do give yourself a treat and have a go at that before the 20th and give yourselves a chance of winning the competition. And with all that said and done, I must get on and I must have a look at Refractions by Nell Gwyn. These are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Palindrome, digits on a grey line must be the same, read backwards and forwards. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. That would be a legitimate way of populating a grey line because it creates a palindrome. Renban, each pink line contains a set of consecutive digits in any order. So if this square was a 1, this line would have to contain the digits 1, 2 and 3 because the digits need to be consecutive on the line, and these can be in any order. So it's not like if you've come across thermometers in the context of Sudoku. Along a thermometer in Sudoku, the digits have to always ascend. Along a Renban line, you just have to make sure that the whole set of digits on the line is consecutive and they can appear in any order you like. Arrow, digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in the circle. So these 3 digits here sum up to this digit. So if these were 1, 2 and 3, that would be a 6. That's how arrows work. And then one more rule, digits on a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio. Not all dots are necessarily given. Okay, so let's deal with the 2 aspects of that. So what we're being told actually is that a black dot domino, one of the digits is double the other. That's what a 1 to 2 ratio will mean. So if this square here is a 3, this will be a 6, because 6 is double 3. If this is a 2, this will be a 4 or a 1, because 2 is double 1, and 4 is double 2. So that's how black dots work. What does the thing mean where it says not all dots are necessarily given? Well, that's saying that it's perfectly possible, for example, for these 2 squares to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. If this was a 3, I won't put the 3 in the corner, and that's a 6. That's fine. There doesn't have to be a black dot between these 2 cells, just because there's a 1 to 2 ratio between the digits. It's just in these specific dominoes, we definitely know for sure that the 2 digits in question will obey the black dot rule. And that's all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, the first thing I've got to do here is the arrow circles, I think. Each of those arrow circles, you can see they're summing 3 different digits. So if I put the minimum into these 3 arrow cells, I could put 1, 2 and 3 in there, and 1, 2 and 3 add up to 6. So each of these circles has to be at least 6, and I bet there's going to be a reason that these all have to be different. But how are we going to prove that? Well, the zigzaggy things are doing something, aren't they? In the sense that if I just give these some colours for a moment, let's make that green, that blue, and that orange. Then the process of creating green, blue, and orange along the line will allow us to populate the line entirely, because that digit, because it's a palindrome, this will have to be orange, this will have to be blue, and that will have to be green. So these 3 digits are actually those 3 digits. They would have to be a green, blue, orange triple, which means that one of these digits is on this palindrome, that one, so that digit is green, blue or orange, and that digit will be in one of those squares, but I don't know which one, or at least I don't think I do. If it was there, then it would be there, then it would be in one of these 3. Let me just think about this. So no, I haven't got this yet. That digit is on that Renban, because that digit, let's give that a colour, yellow in this box I can see has to be in one of those squares, so it's getting forced up here. In fact, that's going to be true for... Oh goodness me. Okay, I've now spotted something far more far simpler than that. That's weird, actually. That is weird. Why does my brain resist seeing this? And it does. I don't know why my brain is resisting this idea. No, that's weird. I'm sorry. This is, I mean, this is very obvious. But for some reason... so my brain is like saying, no, this is wrong. I don't think it is wrong. I'm going to look at those 3 digits, actually. My brain, first of all, could see that this one had to be there. But actually, that's just true for the entire arrow. This is massive, actually. Because these 3 digits, it doesn't matter which one we pick. We should ask where those digits go in box 3. And that one has to be in one of those 3. This one also has to be in one of those 3, and that one has to be in one of those 3, because these 3 digits cannot be green, blue or orange in this box. And that means that where do we put these 3 digits in? Yeah, maybe that's the way. Why do I don't know. For some reason, I don't see this as a question of where do those 3 digits go in row 1, but that's the simpler way to see it, isn't it? Where do those 3 digits go in row 1? They have to go on the line, which means they form a consecutive sequence. Well, that means they're either 1, 2, 3, or they're 2, 3, 4, because they can't be 3, 4, 5, because if they were 3, 4, 5, that would be a 12, and it's not. It's a single digit number. So these definitely include 2 and 3. And either 1 or 4. And this square is either 6 or 9. Because this is either 1, 2, 3 adding up to 6, or it's 2, 3, 4 adding up to 9. Now, what that's going to be doing is... Yeah, it's well, I'm going to get rid of... Am I? I might get rid of these now, actually. I'm just going to leave this in, because this pattern is occurring all round the grid. These 3, this sort of zigzaggy thing, forces the digits on the zigzag to be in these 3 squares, and therefore I can ask exactly the same question about those cells. These cells here definitely are not. No, I'll leave that in as purple. Let's get rid of that. These 3 digits are definitely not on the zigzag. Therefore, they definitely don't go in those squares in column 1. Therefore, the only place purple can go is on the Renban, which means that the Renban, which contains a consecutive sequence, is either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. Which means this square is also 6 or 9. Now, does that have to be... Well, yes. This is beautiful. This is beautiful because, okay, again, we know this consecutive sequence is either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. So it's definitely got 2 or 3 on it. But this digit, what is this digit? And the answer is it's from the set of digits 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's whatever's not in this set. And that means that this digit is not the same as this digit, because the sum of the digits on the arrow here, this purple set, is different from the sum of the digits on the arrow here. Oh, in fact, look, we can do something different here. This is a 2, 3 pair, because 2 and 3 are definitely in yellow. And this square is not a 2 or a 3, so that square is a 1 or a 4. And hopefully it's even more obvious now that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. And the yellow square is not in the purple sequence. So this is 2 and 3, and, well, obviously 1 or 4, depending on, but it's not this 1 or 4. This probably goes all the way around the zigzags. Let's try this one. So this one, those 3 digits, it's the same point again. The contents of the palindrome are going to go there in column 9. So the contents of the green go here. They have to be consecutive. So again, they're either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. Again, they include 2 or 3. This square is either 6 or 9. Therefore, this square, oh, hang on. So now this is red. Yeah, this is lovely. Because now we know that this digit is either, it's from 1, 2, 3 or 4. It's not 2 or 3. So this is a 2, 3 pair. We've got 2, 3 pairs in row 2 and row 3. But that digit is not in yellow. And we know that the 3 yellow digits add up to green. And there's, so whatever this digit is, it's not this digit. And whatever this digit is, it's not on the red sequence. So this is red as well, because this digit is in common between purple and light green. In fact, maybe that's what we've got to do. Maybe we're actually meant to change green to be purple now, because they are adding up to the same number. Because because purple, this digit here, is not in this sum, and it's not in this sum. So imagine this was 4. This would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. And if this is 4, yeah, let's just do this slowly. If this is 4, you can see this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. But if this is 4, this is a 2, 3, 4 triple, and this is a 1, so this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. So these are both 1, 2, 3 triples adding up to the same number. I mean, I think it's fairly clear that's true. I accept it might not be totally obvious if you're new to variant Sudoku, but these are the sorts of games that we are often asked to play. Now, this is on a black dot, that's on a black dot. Ooh, but that doesn't really help, actually. Because if this was a 2, that could be a 4 or a 1. And I've still got 1 zigzag to play with, so I'm going to do that next, I think. Because we're probably going to find... No, we're not. Ah, no, we're not, actually. Right. Okay. So it is different, isn't it? Because these digits, let's make those, we'll make those light green now. They definitely go there in row 9. And therefore these 3 digits, let's make those green, they definitely go there. But now it's a bit different, because these don't have to be consecutive. Because this Renban line is sort of a little mountain, isn't it? It's a purple hill. And a purple hill is not the same as a purple plain. So... yeah, I mean, there are some games we can play here. For example, I can now say that this is not... yeah, I think this is right. I can now say this is not 6. Because if this was 6, we know these digits would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. These would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and I don't think there's a way of making that work. Because this would have to be a 4, wouldn't it? Because the only way this could work is if this was a 2, this was the 2, 3 pair, and this was a 4, and you'd be connecting 4 and 1 across the black dot. and 4 is not double 1. That does not work. So I think that we can rule out 6 from this square. Now if this was 1, 2, 4... No, that still doesn't work, I don't think. If this was 1, 2, 4, how does that work? Because the problem is you keep having to... You've got to make sure these digits are either consecutive themselves, but you can see to make these consecutive, 1 and 2, this would be a 3 and this would be a 6, so that doesn't work. Or these have to be 1 apart, so that the digit between these two digits, so if these were a 2, 4 pair, this would be a 3, but that's not a 6 in that instance, so that doesn't work. Right, so this might be the key, but it's complicated. So this is now 8 or 9. Now if it's 8, the problem is we're getting into more varied options. Because if this is 8, these squares are either going to be 1, 2, 5, which would have to be... That doesn't work. Because yeah, that's very clear actually. If this is 1, 2, 5, we have to make this a 1, 2 pair. This would have to be 3, this would be 5, and 3 and 5 are not in the correct ratio. So 1, 2 and 5 doesn't work. 1, 3 and 4... 1, 3 and 4... That does work. Okay, so we have found an example that does work, because what we could do here is 1 and 3 into the tips, 2 here, and 2 and 4 on the black dot. So that does work. Okay, so that's... So there's certainly a possibility of this being 8. And I imagine if we make this 9, there's going to be all sorts of opportunities to make this work. If that's 2, 3, 4, that could be... no, that might not work actually. I couldn't immediately see how to make that work. 1, 3, 5. Let's just try that. 1, 3 and 5, this would be even. And it would be 2 or 4. 1, 3, 5. Actually, I'm not sure now that 1, 3, 5 works. I can't put 5 on the black dot. So 5, it would have to be 3, 5 pair here. This would have to be 4. But this would be 1 and it wouldn't. No, okay, so maybe the only option is 8, 1, 3, 4. We're running out of ways of doing it. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 6 would work. 1, 2, 6 would work with a 9. Because if this is 1, 2, 6, the beauty there is I can make these a 1, 2 pair. They're consecutive with 3, and 3 does go with 6 on a black dot. Bobbins. So there's definitely a 1 in here, because it's either a 1, 2, 6 triple or a 1, 3, 4 triple. So there's definitely a 1 down here. So no, so that's not a 1. And if this was a 1, 3, 4 triple, we were saying that this was a 2, weren't we? If this was a 1, 2, 6 triple, we were saying that. So this is a 2 or a 3. One, 2, 6. Let me just put the options here. 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 4. And this square. 1, 2. This square here is either 6 or this is 1, 3, 4. This is 4. So we're in this world. Okay, well, that's good, but it's not. Is there a reason that these two have to be the same for some reason? It just feels like there's quite a lot of symmetry in the puzzle. Alright, here is a very, very simple deduction. These squares we know include the digits 2 and 3, don't we? Because they are on this Renban. Well, that digit must be there then. So that is a 2 or a 3. So I've now got a 2, 3 pair in this row, and these two digits are the same digit. And they're different from that digit. So that digit and that digit are the same digit. Yeah, maybe I'm meant to keep track of these 2s and 3s. I'm going to try that. I'll use the letter tool to do it because I don't want to introduce colour on colour unless I absolutely have to. So what we're saying is, no, we're not saying this is a CB. This is a B, and that's a B. So that's a B, and that's an A. Let's make this C, and we know C is different to D, don't we? So C... So we know that this string of digits, now let's go back here, this string of digits is AB and D, which must be the same as here. This is ABD. And this string of digits is ABC. This is the Jackson 5. What do we do with this? We could... Oh, right. Okay, I've got something here. Right. Do you remember where we were at the start of the puzzle? At the very start of the puzzle, we noticed that these 3 digits were the same as these 3, obviously, but they were in these 3 digits. So D is a digit on this palindrome. Well, where does it go? Because it doesn't go there, because that's got D looking at it. And I'm going to say it doesn't go there, because I know D is a purple digit, and in fact what I could do to make it clearer, I know this is A, so D is in one of those squares, so D is looking at this square, so that's D, which means that's D on the palindrome. Now D is a 1 or a 4. So that gives me a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple here, and here, and oh, and here. Which might be important. Oh, bobbins, come on, Simon. Well, I think we're close to cracking this now. It's going to be, I think it's probably going to be asking a question like that again. But where? How did we do that? So where is... no, it is a bit of a different question, actually. Because this digit... Well, no, this digit is in one of these squares. That's true. But it isn't true to say... Because the geometry works a bit differently, doesn't it? I don't know, or at least I don't think I know, that C is on in this sequence. It might be. But I don't think I know it is. Oh goodness, I'm getting the fear now, because if I can't see how to do this, that's going to be terrible. Do I have to make those purple for some reason? And what are these digits then? I must know that. So these digits are D, which is this digit, and B. This is a DB pair. But B is here. That's not quite doing it, is it? Let's think. And what did we say these digits were? They were either 1, 3, 4, which would marry up very nicely with this. It would put 2 in one of these squares. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. This would be a 2 as well. 2, 3. This would be the D digit. The D digit. So that would be there. Can't see what's wrong with that immediately. Golly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we have to do. Is it going to be? It's Sudoku. Of course it is. Of course it's Sudoku. Nell Gwyn, how dare you make me do Sudoku in your Sudoku puzzle? Where is red in this box? I can ask that question now. Red's got to go there, look. So that's probably doing something. Means these squares are 5, 7 and 8. Oh, yeah, I probably am going to pencil mark that, you know. I mean, I'm loath to do it, but I'm seeing this is on the palindrome, so that might be helpful. Also, these squares, look, those two squares are also 5, 7 and 8 now. They're both on the palindrome, so these are 5, 7 and 8. So red is now in one of those squares. Might as well make use of that. Green, do we know anything about... I shouldn't make this green, because green is suggesting it's got some connotation here, isn't it? I need to change the colour of this one. Let's make it orange instead. So orange is in one of these two squares. But do I know more than that? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Okay. D. Oh, I'm not sure. Sorry. How do we do this? It's probably more Sudoku. But I know that orange is different from red. So I know one of these is orange, that's true. I know one of these is orange. And if orange is here, and that would put orange over here. No, I've not got this yet, have I? I'm still floundering around, trying to... Or is it something to do with... Oh, look, where's orange in this row? I don't think I do know the answer to that, but it's either there or there. So where is the digit C in this row? And the digit C is in one of two places. It's in one of these positions. If it was here, it would be here. I don't think there's a problem with that, but there could be. If it's here, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple there. That would push up the value of this square, wouldn't it? That's interesting. So maybe it's something to do with Sudoku on this bottom arrow. That's almost an interesting thought, because this 2-3 pair, maybe this is doing more than I thought it was. Because it's pushing up the value of these to being at least 1 and a 4. But doesn't that mean... Yeah, okay, let's have a look back at this arrow. Because if that's a 2-3 pair, it's not possible anymore that these two squares don't include a 1. Because if they didn't include a 1, the minimum value of these would be 4, 5, and this would be at least 10. So one of these is a 1, and this is not a 1. But also, if you think about a 3-cell arrow, a 3-cell arrow must include 2 of the low digits. It must include 2 of the digits 1, 2, and 3. And we know neither of these can be a 2 or a 3, so this is a 2 or a 3, and it is now whatever B isn't. So this one is A. That might do something. So let's think about that. Oh, did I already know? Oh, no, maybe I didn't already know this. So now A is in one of these squares. And seemingly along with 1. Oh, that's weird. Is that true? Because that's going to do it if that's right. I'm not sure I trust this deduction, so I'm just going to take a moment to think about this. I do definitely know that there is an A in one of these by Sudoku. So one of these is 2 or 3. For some reason I have a 1 pencil mark down here. Where's that come from? Yes, that's right, because I have worked out there is a 1 on the green and the dark green. Because we worked out this had to be 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 6. So these two squares now are a 1A pair, which means they are from the digit. This is it. We've done it. This is very clever. These have to be from 1, 2 and 3. One of these is A. But the point is now... no, maybe I still don't know the point. Actually, I still might not know the point. Good grief. I was going to say, well, if this is 1 and 2, that would be 3, that would be 6. If this is 1 and 3, that would be 2, and that would be 4. So I think it still works either way. That's bizarre. Okay. So where is B in this box now? Because B is in one of these two squares, and B can't be there because the palindrome will break it. So this square here is B, and B we know is a 2 or a 3. So now I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in the bottom row, and this square is a 4. That might be my first digit. 4. Oh, that's that is absolutely huge, because a 4 here, I almost don't trust that deduction again. This is so strange, the way this is working. B... Yeah, B couldn't go on the pass. That's good logic. It works. So the fact is, if this is a consecutive sequence of digits, but it now includes 4, well, what doesn't include it? It doesn't include 1. And now this is B. Oh, which we probably already knew if we thought about it in the other order. But now, with this being 2, 3, 4, we now know that red, which is that digit, is 9. And if we know that red is 9, we know that orange is 6. We know that C is 1. We might be away now. We might be away. This is a very, very nice puzzle. Super interesting. Now 1 is now in one of these squares, because 1 is the digit C. We know that D is 4. So we know that these don't include 1. If this is 4, what's that digit? The answer is 6. So that's 3 by black dot logic. That is not 3. And if that's 6, 6 is on the arrow here. This arrow adds up to 9. So it is a red digit, we've suddenly discovered. Ooh, yes. Oh, this is gorgeous. Right. Where is red in this box? And the answer is not on the palindrome, because if it's on the palindrome, it gets reflected on the palindrome. We get 2 9s in box 9. So red is in one of those squares, and now we can ask where red goes in column 5. And an interesting thing about red, not a lot of people know this secret, but red doesn't go on black dots. Well, let's be clear. Red doesn't go on black dots when its value is 9, because the other digit would have to be either double 9 or half 9, and 4.5 and 18 don't work. So that's 9. That's on a Renban. So that's 9. It's red. It's got to be with a consecutive digit, so that's now an 8. That does nothing. No, it actually doesn't do anything. Well, it does place red in this box, because red again can't go on the palindrome without reflecting. So this is now 9. Let's go back to numbers. So that's 9. That's red. So that's 9. Whoops. And all of a sudden, no, we haven't got all the 9s because we haven't sorted out the X-wing in columns 4 and 6, but we've done quite well. 6 is an orange digit, if we think about it in a different... Well, let's actually look. This, we know that 6 is green. So we now know this is 2. So A is 2. Did we already know that? Maybe we did. But it's certainly useful to know that. It seems to be filling some things in. These are a 1-6 pair. This is a 1-6 pair. But I was thinking, yeah, this is right. So where's 6 in this box? And the fact is, this is 6 by Sudoku, because 6 must be in one of these squares, and then it can't be here because this is effectively an orange digit. So that's 6. That seems to have to be a 1. 1 is... oh, just use the palindrome, Simon. So if this is 1, this is 2. We get a little bit further. We need 5s, 7s and 8s down here. Now that puts more palindromic 5, 7 and 8-age into the puzzle. Okay, these don't include 3. This is a 1-2 pair, so that's 3. That's the B digit. So I don't think we're learning anything terribly funky there. This is a 5, 7 or 8 in the corner. Definitely not 3. And what we probably need to do now, he says, trying to look at it, is... Well, okay, what's on this black dot is an interesting question. That's it's a lovely black dot, that. Because, what can it be? It can't be a 1-2 pair, because that's going to break this. It can't be a 4-8 pair, because that's going to break that. It can't be a 3-6 pair, because that will break that. So it can only be a 2-4 pair, QED. So this is a 1. Okay, 4. Yeah, okay, so 4 and 4. We can ask where 4 goes, can't we, in this row? In row 6, because it's not in these squares, it's not in these squares, and it is in one of those 3 squares, so it must be the bottom one. And now we can... no, it's... oh, I thought it was going to bounce. Oh, it does sort of bounce. 3s. Where's 3 in row 6 now? 3 has to go there, which means this is 3, this is 2, this is 2, this is 1. 1 lives in one of those 2 cells. This is very gorgeous, actually. Fair play, Nell Gwyn. This is very gorgeous. 4. Can we do... yeah, we can do 4. And that's a palindrome, so we can get 4 and 4 into the grid. And don't tell me. We might well have to colour these 5, 7s and 8s, I think, because they're appearing rather frequently for my liking. Oh, right. Okay, this can't be 2. Because if the central digit is a 2, what do we connect it to on the Renban? 2 could only connect to 1 or 3, and they aren't in the right place. So that's 4, that's 2, that's 5. That's not 5. That's on the palindrome, so that's not 5. That 4 in the middle is useful. 4, 3, 3, 2. No, oh, close. 6 is in one of those squares. No. Oh, that's not 8. Okay, what do we need in row 6 then? We need a 6 and a 5 and a 7. So 5, 6 and 7. Okay, what do we need in box 5? We need 1, 6 and 7. I'm going to put the options in. I'm going a bit crazy with my pencil marks at the moment. That's not 5, look. So that means that's not 5. So this is 6, 7 or 8. No, I don't trust that, actually. Hang on. Because I still have 9 to put into this column, so that can't only be 5, 6, 7 or 8. There's a 2 here. That's got to go with a 1 on the black dot, because it can't go with a 4. So that gets me a 1 there. Does it do more? I would like to disambiguate this somehow. We've not put 6, 7 and 8 into row 5, so that's 6, 7 and 8, so that's 6, 7 or 8 by palindrome logic. This, okay, in column 5, this square here is 5, 7 or 8 only. So a question we could have asked is where's 6 in row 2? Because it seems to only have one position, and that's good because it's on a palindrome, which gives me 7 and 6 here, gives me an 8 on this palindrome, which gives me an 8 there, which gives me an 8 in the corner. I feel like singing about it. Therefore, I've got a 5, 7 pair that we've won in column 9, which means this square is 1 or 6, and it's not 6. So that's 1. That's 1. That's 6. Okay. I feel like I've put a lot of ones. I have put 9 ones into the puzzle. So this is 8. This is 9. So this is 9. And, oh, the 7 is resolved. That's 5, that's 7. So that's 7, that's 5, that's 7. And this is 5 or 8, but it's the same as that digit. So they both have to be 5 now. This is a 7 by Sudoku. That's a 6 by Sudoku. That's an 8, which is on the palindrome. So this is a 7, which is on a palindrome. This is 5 or 8. Let's be careful here, Simon. Yeah, okay, they can be the same. Well, yeah. There's an 8 looking at that, so that's got to be 5, which means that's 5, that's 8. That's 6, I think. That results in an 8 in the corner. 7 here, 5 here. That's on the palindrome. Is it okay to put 7 there? I hope so, and that will be 5. And somehow or other the puzzle's filled itself in. I really had nothing to do with that. It just sort of worked at the end. I hope it's right. Yes, you solved the puzzle. Solution is correct. 213 people have solved that. But okay, but in 2/3 of a year. So it has been around for a while. And thank goodness I did manage to get it done in a relatively respectable time. It's now closing in on 6:30. By the time I upload the instructions and add on the intro music, etc., and export it and then upload it, I think the video should make 8:30. That was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. Let's get rid of rid of those. We want to make those fully 9s, don't we? It's beautiful. It's a really clever idea. And yeah, I think I made a bit of a pig's ear of the beginning, because I think you can see the palindromes are sort of putting the digits on the palindrome into position, but then the simple question, which is where do those digits on the arrow go in that row, that top row, because they can't go here and they can't go there. That just, I felt uncomfortable with that, even though now as I look at it, it seems completely obvious that that's right. It was very clever. It was very clever the way this break in the symmetry sort of unwound the puzzle. I'm not sure how much sort of tracking of 2s, 3s, 1s, 4s was necessary. There may have been easier ways to see through that. You let me know in the comments. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.